So, Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome to SML Academy 10 plus 5. And today we'll be having our literature class. Okay, so definitely we have done the first play, that was The Merchant of Venice, and I hope you people enjoyed the play, you people understood the play well. And now we'll be definitely moving on to our next play in the same book, and that is Hamlet, okay? Basically, the whole name of the play is The Tragedy of Hamlet, but we usually write it only Hamlet, and it's about the Prince of Denmark, written by William Shakespeare. This is another play that we will be beginning today, and first of all, I would like to give you a review of this, or a preview, I would say, a preview of this play. That when was this written, why was this written, and all the the important things about the related to the play. So let's see. The preview. This was written by William Shakespeare. Definitely, we are reading all the plays written by William Shakespeare in your notebook. So the first one we did was The Merchant of Venice. Now this is the second one. This is Hamlet. Now, the type of work is play. Now, do you understand what is the difference between a play and any other kind of a story that you read? A play is actually a dialogue related conversation kind of piece of writing which can usually be performed in a theater. Because in those days, Shakespeare used to write plays for the sake of them being performed in the theater for so that the actors could come and play it or perform it in front of the audience in a theater. So this is actually a play that used to be performed in the past. Now, the genre is the tragedy. Now, a tragedy is a play that is actually is having a series of sorrowful events, one by another. When there are many tragic events happening, tragic are actually uncertain, unplanned, sorrowful events that happen all of a sudden. And when they happen all of a sudden, then a person actually needs to get some time to accept them because they are just tragic, they are just happening all of a sudden. Okay, and it was first published between 1601 and 1603. These are the years during the era when it was the first time published. And the setting of this play is in Denmark. So this whole play is related to the Danish people. Remember, the Merchant of Venice was related to the Venetian people. Now this play is related to the Danish people. This all the setting is in Denmark, and the major thematic topics. Now, what are the major thematic topics? That is, what are the things that this play focuses on? What are the major themes that have been showed or that have been discussed in this play? Are first of all fate, that is luck, but how luck treats people, whether it's a prince or whether it's a queen or whether it's a whosoever it may be, that how things just go tragically with all of us. It's not much that our poor people will only suffer or a king will only suffer. Anybody can suffer, and fate and luck are a part of everybody's life. Then free will, that is how people do things on their own, how they make decisions on their own. Then it's revenge. This is the main actually theme of this play, where there is revenge and avenge. That is a must. Please, and don't unmute yourself when I mute you. I don't like this because you disturb the class like this. Don't keep unmuting yourself again and again, please. Okay. Okay, so revenge is the main theme, as I told you, because definitely in this play, this whole play revolves around the theme of revenge. Then you have the political instability, that is definitely in the olden days and in today's as a present time as well. The very common thing is that everybody wants to get power, and that is where the political instability arises. That is, the government or the kingship, it gets hindered when people want to take over the throne or when people want to take over power, and that is where the states get unstable. They don't remain what do you call powerful anymore. And then mortality, that is death is but a reality. Definitely nobody can escape from this, so death is but a reality. Okay. Okay, I'm not audible to you people. Can you people hear me now? Let me know, please, so that I can again repeat what I have said. Yes, it's the Khaisar. Can you hear me now? Why can't you hear me? Okay, Ritika. So I'm. And what about the another one? Yes, Laiba. Can you hear me? Okay, so all the students can hear me. Okay, so let's continue from where I was talking. Okay, thank you, students, for your response. Okay, fine. So now the another I was talking about mortality, that is death is but a reality. Everybody has to face death today, tomorrow, whenever. Everybody has to die. That is but a reality. And madness. Madness is basically when people pretend that they are mad, or sometimes they actually go mad for real because of the certain events that occur in their life one after another. So basically, these are the different things that have been focused or have been displayed or have been shown in this play, and these are the themes of the play. So let's move on. So introduction to the play. Let's have a quick synopsis or a quick review that Hamlet is a tragedy written by William Shakespeare sometime between 1599 and 1601. And definitely, as I told you, it was published between 1601 to 1603. Okay. It is Shakespeare's longest play with 30,557 words. So this is one of the distinguishing features about this play, that it has the longest number of words, or the largest number of words. Okay. Then the setting is in Denmark. The play depicts Prince Hamlet and his revenge against his uncle. Now, who is his uncle? Claudius, who has murdered Hamlet's father in order to seize his throne and marry Hamlet's mother. Okay, so this is actually the whole story, or the main theme of this topic, that Hamlet is a prince, and his father, who was King Hamlet, was murdered by his own brother Claudius. And the another sorrowful factor for Hamlet is that not only that Claudius murdered his father, but he also married Hamlet's mother. Okay. Hamlet is considered among the most powerful and influential works of English literature. Okay, so this play has a very deep connection with the literary work, and people actually believe it as one of the masterpieces of English literature. With a story capable of seemingly endless retelling and adaptation by others. So basically, what does this line mean? That this story has been retold and has been uh, again and again and again, retold and translated into different languages, different works, and it has been edited many times. And people see, the important factor is that from 1569 to 1601, when it was written, today it's 2020, and still we are reading it. So definitely the play has the strength and the capability to catch audience. That's why it has been first of all, it has been played in the theaters thousands of times, and it has been retold again and again. Retelling a story does not mean that you change the story, it is that you make easier versions of it. Okay, so this is the reason why it is retold. It was one of Shakespeare's most popular works during his lifetime, and still ranks amongst his most performed plays. So as I told you, that this the important or the salient feature of this play is that it has been performed the maximum number of times as compared to the other plays of Shakespeare, because this play has a flow which catches the audience. So this has been played many times before, okay, on in the theater or on the stage, okay. So let's have a quick look at the characters before we begin, because I want you people to know the characters, to understand the characters when we are going through the play. Because if you know the characters, you recognize them, then it gets easier to understand the play. So the main and the central character is definitely Hamlet, and Hamlet is the Prince of Denmark. He is not the king, I repeat, he is the Prince of Denmark. Okay. His father is dead. His mother has married the king's brother Claudius. Okay, so this is just a little introduction of Hamlet, that he's a prince of Denmark, and his father is dead, and his mother has married the king's brother Claudius. Now, who's Claudius? Claudius is the new king of Denmark. That means after the death of Hamlet's father, he has declared himself as the new king of Denmark. Dead king's brother who has taken the throne and married his sister-in-law. So basically, Claudius is who's the dead king. That is King Hamlet was the dead king, and he is his brother, and he has married his sister-in-law. That is King Hamlet's wife. Gertrude is the Queen of Denmark. She was the wife of King Hamlet, and now she's the wife of King Claudius, of course. Prince Hamlet's mother, King Hamlet's widow, and King Claudius's wife. Okay, so this is the introduction of Gertrude. She also plays a very major role in the play because definitely she's the queen of Denmark. Then the ghost of King Hamlet. So the ghost is spirit of the late King Hamlet, condemned to walk the earth until his soul is cleansed of its sins. So basically, in the Christian religion, they used to believe that you have to ask for forgiveness before you die, and because the king did not get the opportunity to do that, so he is just roaming around on earth here and there, all helpless, and then he comes to his son and asks for taking a revenge, and that is how the story continues. So he is. This is the ghost actually. King Hamlet is not in the story for real. Only his ghost makes an appearance in the story or in the play. Okay. Now the rest of the characters are Horatio, who is Hamlet's best friend, and he has been with Hamlet since a long time, since childhood. They have gone to school and university together, and he's Hamlet's best friend. And he's also actually nobleman of Hamlet. And then you have Ophelia. It's not Ophelia. Please don't say that. It's PHS so it's Ophelia. Ophelia is the daughter of Polonius, sister of Laertes, and Ophelia is beloved of Hamlet. So basically, Hamlet wants to marry Ophelia, and she is the daughter of Polonius, and she is the sister of Laertes. Now, who is Laertes? Laertes is Polonius's son and Ophelia's brother. And who is Polonius? Polonius is the chief counselor to Claudius. So basically, he is actually the most closest minister of Claudius, with whom Claudius is discusses most of his issues. And he has a daughter and a son, Ophelia and Laertes. And Ophelia is loved by Hamlet, and Laertes is her brother, who is actually studying abroad, but he keeps visiting his father and sister on different occasions. Okay, so now these are the main characters of the novel, of this play. So I think it would be easier for you people now when we go past through any of them. You will be having a background of the character, and you will be actually knowing that which character has what relevance in the play. Now let's look at this chart. This will make it more clear for you people that this is the central character, Hamlet. Now Hamlet's friend is Horatio, as I told you. Hamlet's father was ghost of King Hamlet, and definitely they have a father-son relationship. A certain ghost of King Hamlet, because King Hamlet does not actually physically appear in the play. Only his ghost makes an appearance. Then his stepfather is Claudius, and his stepfather is also his uncle. Okay, and definitely he is the stepson and nephew to Claudius. Claudius and Ghost of King Hamlet are brothers, and Claudius murders King Hamlet. Now, let's look at Queen Gertrude. She is the mother of Hamlet, and she is the widow of the former, or her former husband was King Hamlet, and she is now the wife of Claudius, King Claudius. Gertrude is now the wife of King Claudius. Hamlet kills Polonius. Now, why does he kill Polonius? You will get to know this. Polonius was the minister of Claudius, and Hamlet kills Polonius. Why? You will know this when we read. Hamlet loves Ophelia, and Ophelia is the daughter of Polonius, and she is the sister of Laertes, and Laertes and Polonius are father and son. And the childhood friends who are the spies who have been sent by Claudius afterwards are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, but their names are not mentioned in our book, so you need not to focus on these difficult names, only because to give you a clear picture of the whole characters, of all the characters in the novel, I've put this map. I'll repeat this character map with you people afterwards as well. When you read the story, then it will be more easy for you people to understand what is the relation between the characters. But for right now, these are all the characters that are present in the novel. Okay, so I would like to begin reading today this lesson. So please, students, take out your Merchant of Venice and Other Stories book and open up to page number 50. I'm giving you a minute, you can do that. Hurry up and open up your books on page number 50. Today we will begin reading Hamlet. Any questions so far? You can ask me right now. Okay, no questions. Good. So everything is clear so far. Now we will start reading. Anything related to when the school is opening and when it's closing, you will get to know it on the Google Classroom. Don't worry right now. And definitely, I cannot tell you all these things because you will be told through WhatsApp or the Google Classroom. Don't worry. Okay. So open up to page number 50, everybody. Let's start reading. Hamlet, the unhappy prince. Why is he called the unhappy prince? Can anybody tell me? Definitely because of the all the tragic reasons that he is called the unhappy prince. Okay, when the king of Denmark died suddenly, the life of his son, the young Prince Hamlet, changed completely. Hamlet had loved his father, a kind and popular king. When he died, the prince was terribly upset. He became even more upset when his mother, Queen Gertrude, married again. Less than 2 months afterwards, the man she married was the old king's brother Claudius. So basically, this is actually the introduction of the play when the Prince Hamlet is very unhappy. And why is he so unhappy? Because he has lost his father. Who was his father? The king of Denmark. That is, King Hamlet was his father, and he was unhappy because he lost his father in the first place. And it was again a tragic incident that he was abroad, he was studying, and all of a sudden he got to know that his father has passed away. Neither he was sick nor he was having any physical issues or any health issues or any problems, and all of a sudden a news comes that okay, this man has passed away, and he comes back. And when he comes back, he is already so much unhappy and so much upset with his father's death. And then within 2 months his mother marries Claudius, his uncle, who is now become the new king of Denmark. And he is again more unhappy now because he is sad that how could my mother, like it's only like 2 months, my father has just passed away and my mother has remarried. And definitely now when she's married again, she will not give him that much time or that much attention, and he's all alone. And so he was very unhappy. He was all lost, all upset, all, very, 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 very sad. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Prince Hamlet was shocked and angry at this. Now, what was he shocked and angry at? That his mother has remarried. He was sad and he was sorrowful because his father has passed away, and he was shocked and angry because his mother has remarried his own uncle. And if his uncle was not in his liking, then definitely that was another point why he was not happy. He would never accept his uncle Claudius as his new father. He could not understand how his mother could love him. Claudius had no concern for the feelings of other people. He did not care at all. Compared to Hamlet's father, Claudius was a foolish, ugly man. When the prince saw his mother and Claudius so happy together, he was very angry. It was as her tears at the old king's death had all been lies. Hamlet could not forgive her for forgetting his father so quickly. Were all women so quick to forget the men they once loved? So, actually, he was unhappy because his mother had married a man who was actually foolish and ugly, because compared to his father, Claudius was a very cunning, was a very wicked man, and his father was a very good natured and a very humble and a loving person. And he was surprised that what is the reason my mother married this man, although she had been married to my father for so long, and my father was such a noble and kind and loving and gentle person. And how could my mother just forget all his love and all his care and all his generosity for all the life, and she could just within 2 months forget about him and get married to a person who's so cunning, who's so wicked, and who's not at all like my father? If both the fathers had something in common, or both the brothers had something in common, that maybe he was a good man like King Hamlet. If Claudius was like a good man, or if he was that sensible or smart, then definitely it makes sense. But Hamlet was upset that why did my mother decide to marry a man who's just not at all of that same caliber, and how could she forget my father in the first place so quickly? And he was also doubtful that My mother cried a lot when my father passed away, but within 2 months she forgot all her tears, and maybe at that time even she was just pretending. She was actually not sad at my father's death. And this thing created a question in his mind that are all women like this? Do they just forget their beloved people so quickly? And this actually created a tyranny, a anger, a negativity in him against the women. Okay. Hamlet could not think of anything but his father's death and the marriage of his mother to Claudius. Nothing else seemed important. Even his dear friend Horatio could not make him forget it for more than a moment. Hamlet refused to stop wearing black clothes in memory of his father's death, even after everyone else has stopped wearing them. Everyone noticed Hamlet's behavior, and this worried Gertrude and Claudius. They hated to see Hamlet come before them, dressed from head to toe in black. Okay, so basically, what is happening that he refused to stop wearing black clothes now because that is the Christian culture that for a certain period of time after the death of a beloved person, they wear black clothes. Okay, like I believe the Hindus wear white clothes for some time. So the Christians wear black clothes, and that is only for a certain period of time. But Hamlet refused to stop wearing them, and he just kept wearing black all the time. And whenever he used to come in front of Gertrude and Claudius wearing all black clothes, this reminded them of the dead king. Definitely, they were now enjoying their new married life, and they did not want to have any sorrows or any thoughts about the dead king anymore. And this used to disturb them that okay, every time this Prince Hamlet makes an appearance in front of us, we have to face this reality that King Hamlet is dead, and it's not long enough that he has been dead, and now we are actually enjoying and partying ourselves. So this was actually they were unhappy about his this attitude, but he was so upset that he refused. He was not even listening to his best friend Horatio, and he was just continuing wearing black, and they were all very upset about it. Okay. For looking unhappy, he reminded them continually of his father's death, which for different reasons they both wanted to forget. Because of this, the new king and the queen asked Hamlet to come and see them in court. So basically, because he was not listening to anybody, he was not quitting wearing black clothes. So what happened that they both asked him that okay, come over to the court and we would like to talk to you. We would like to discuss some important things with you. So come to the court and we will have a meeting over there, or we'll talk about something important over there. And there is a very important line here, the students, that for different reasons. Now, what were the different reasons they wanted to forget the king were that maybe because Claudius was behind the murder, and maybe because queen supported him, or maybe because the queen did not do anything about it, but because now she has married another man, so she wants to forget. So they had different reasons, okay, not to remember the king anymore. Dear son, try to forget about the past, his mother said. Everyone has to die sometime, you know. Don't make yourself even more unhappy. So his mother is actually trying to soothe him, saying that just to stop looking into the past, just stop thinking about the past, move forward, accept the reality that everyone has to die, and just move ahead, just come out of this unhappiness and just start living a normal life. It's enough of it that you are have been sorrowful for your father's death. Now just come over it, get done with it, okay? His uncle followed Gertrude's loving words with a long and clever speech. Young Hamlet, he said, too much unhappiness at someone's death is foolish. Only children behave that way. Face facts. Since the beginning of time, every son has lost his father. That is the way of life. And now, Hamlet, you have a new father. Believe me, I love you like my own son. In front of all these important people, I say this: you will become king after me. My boy, we are worried about you. So we do not want you to go back to university in Wittenberg as you planned. Your mother and I would like you to be a good son to your parents and stay here with us. So now Claudius also made a speech, and his speech was actually a very clever one. He told Hamlet that don't be unhappy anymore and accept the facts and the reality. You are not a baby, you are not a small boy that you are crying over a thing that has happened. It's almost 2 3 months now, and you just keep crying over the same thing over and over again. Come on, be a big boy, be a gentleman, stop acting like children. and face the fact that everybody has to die since the beginning of time. Every son has lost his father because definitely, or this is the rule that old people pass away more quickly than the young ones. So he said that this is the way life goes on. People lose their beloved ones, but still they don't die with them. They continue to live. And you trust me that I will love you like my own son, and I'm your new father, and you have to accept this reality because you can't just change it. I'm your mother's husband, so I'm a father to you as well. And I love you the way your father used to love you. And now when he says that in front of these important people, that is because this all is happening in the court, and they have the ministers in the court as well sitting. So he says that in front of all these ministers and all these people, respectable people sitting in the court, I say it in front of all of them that you will be the king after me, and definitely you will enjoy all the rights and the privileges to be the king. And just to stop and yeah, one more thing, that I would not like you to go to Wittenberg back, because that is where Hamlet used to study. He was not studying in Denmark, he was studying university in Wittenberg, another city. Okay, so he said, we don't want you to go back to Wittenberg, rather you should stay with us and be a good son to us. Okay, so actually Gertrude and Claudius does not want Hamlet to go back to university. They want him to stay with them. Okay. Hamlet ignored Claudius but told his mother he would have stayed if she wanted him to. Despite the king and queen's concern, Hamlet felt as if he were trapped. Suddenly, the world was full of unpleasantness. There was nothing good left in it. It seemed to him that everyone around him was lying and cheating. He wanted to die. Why should he live? Everything seemed so hopeless. To think that his own mother could be so unfeeling. If only there was something he could do. Just as Hamlet was thinking this, his friend Horatio came to speak to him. So basically, you see the despair, the sadness, the sorrow in Hamlet's character, that he is so unhappy that he has developed a dislike for the entire world. He thinks that the whole world is cheating, is lying, is unpleasant. There is nothing so important or so good left in the world that could, attract him, or that could just make him happy for a moment. In fact, he even wanted to kill himself. He wanted to die. In this during this time, he wrote a poem that is called Hamlet's Soliloquy. Okay, and in that soliloquy, he writes about this thing that to be or not to be is the question. That is, should I live or should I die? This is the question, because I have nothing to live. There is no purpose. There is no meaning for my life. And it's a question to be or not to be. So actually it's a very famous piece of English literature. It is not added in your text because definitely it is very 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 complicated, and it has very difficult wordings. But just to add to your knowledge, it's called Hamlet's Soliloquy. That is, he's talking to himself in that poem, and he's saying that whether should I live or whether I should I die, this is a question. So if you have time, anytime over the internet, browse it. It's called Hamlet's Soliloquy, and try to read it. You will find it interesting. It will make the despair and the unhappiness of Hamlet clear in front of you, that how sad he was with all the events, one by one, all the tragic events, that he was very upset. Okay. My lord, a very strange thing has happened. Okay, so now Horatio came to him and he just talked to him, all of a sudden. He's cried. The castle guard saw a ghost last night, and I was with them. There is no doubt about it, my lord. It was your father. Okay, now this is actually now again a tragic or a different thing that all of a sudden happened. That Horatio walks in and he says that I have something very important to tell you. And the castle guard saw a ghost, and I was with them, and I witnessed the presence of a ghost, and the ghost was nobody else but it was your father. Now, why would have the ghost visited? Why has the ghost come? What is the reason the ghost is, coming to the castle? Has not it went to the heaven or the hell, wherever it went had to? Why is it coming back? So let's see. My father's ghost? Hamlet exclaimed, very excited. Something must be very wrong, something important. I'll speak to the ghost myself this very evening. So basically, when Hamlet got to know it was his father's ghost, he was quite sure that something is wrong, something is fishy, something is happening that shouldn't have happened, and that is the reason why the father goes to the bed and he says that I would like to see the ghost myself, and this evening I will meet him. I'll come along with you people to the place where you just stand, the castle guards, and when the ghost makes her appearance, I'll talk to him and I'll ask him why is he appearing. So today we'll just read it till here, and I hope so far the play is clear to you people. Any questions, any queries, you can always ask me right now or in the Google's comment section. Definitely in the Google Classroom, I'll be more than welcome to answer your questions. But I have some questions for you people. Let's see if you can answer them. So, okay, no questions, Maida. Thank you. Who was Hamlet, first of all? Can anybody tell me who was Hamlet? Can I have Laiba? Laiba, can you answer me who was Hamlet? Yes, can you answer me, Laiba? Who's Hamlet? Laiba, are you there? Laiba Najib, I want you to answer me who is Hamlet. Okay, you can answer me, Laiba. So who's Hamlet? Can you tell me? Laiba, hurry up. I don't have a lot of time with him. Hamlet was the son of late king. Okay, he was the son of late king, but what was his designation? Can anybody tell me his designation? What is he actually? He is the Prince of Denmark. Okay, he is the Prince of Denmark. So, who was Hamlet's mother? What was her name? Who was Hamlet's mother? Yes, can Tabassum Fatma answer me? Who was Hamlet's mother? Tabassum, are you there? It's not gratitude, beta. It's Gertrude. 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 Say the spelling correctly. It's Gertrude. 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 Okay. Okay. So, who's going to answer who was Claudius? Can I have Sheikh Muhammad Zaid? Can you answer me who was Claudius? Yes, can you answer me who was Claudius? Tabassum Fatma, thank you for the answer. Who was Claudius? Sheikh Muhammad Zaid, can you answer me? Claudius was not a friend of Hamlet, bete. That is Horatio. Horatio was a friend of Hamlet, okay, but Claudius was actually the brother of King Hamlet, and he was the stepfather of Prince Hamlet, and now the king of Denmark and husband of Gertrude, okay. So, who was Horatio? Claudius was husband of Gertrude. Yes, he was the husband of Gertrude. That is right. And he was now the king of Denmark as well. And he was the stepfather to, definitely he was the brother of late king, and he was the stepfather to Prince Hamlet. Okay. Now you have to make sure when you write Prince Hamlet and when you write King Hamlet. Prince Hamlet is Hamlet, the person who we are talking about in the story. And King Hamlet is his dead father. Okay. Make sure you write Prince and King with Hamlet, which one you're talking about. Why was Hamlet grieved when his mother remarried? Why was she grieved when his mother remarried? Why was he grieved means unhappy or sad? Why was he sad when his mother remarried? Can anybody tell me? Yes, Maida, can you tell me? Or Hamza Mushtaba, can you tell me? Hamlet's father was dead. He was grieved about this reason, but why was he grieved when his mother remarried? Because he did not like Claudius, and he did not want to accept Claudius, who's a very clever and ugly and foolish man, as his new father. Because Claudius was nothing like the old king or the dead king Hamlet, so he did not want to accept him. Okay. Yes, because he did not like Claudius, right? Okay. So can I have Ivan Irfan? Yes, Iman Irfan, can you tell me what was Hamlet's behavior after his mother's remarriage? What was his behavior? What he used to do? Can you tell me what he used to do or what was his behavior? How did he behave in the castle when his mother remarried? Iman Irfan, are you there? Okay, I'm waiting for the answers. You all can reply me in the chat box definitely. What was Hamlet's behavior after his mother's remarriage? Was he happy? Was he sad? Was he disgusted? Was he, like pretending that he is so sad that he used to wear black clothes all the time? He did not quit wearing black clothes. Yes, he was very unhappy. Or you can say that his despair was enhanced. His unhappiness was enhanced as his mother's remarriage, and he did not quit wearing black clothes. Yes, you're right, Hamza Mushtuba. He refused to stop wearing black clothes in the memory of his dead father to remind Gertrude and Claudius all the time that he is upset and he's sad about the death of his father. Okay, what did the guards see at night? Yes, can I have Faliha? Faliha, can you answer me? Yes, they saw a ghost. Exactly. The guards saw a ghost of the late king, of the dead king, King Hamlet. The guards saw a ghost at night, okay? And they were very much upset. Why has the ghost come? And Horatio came to tell this thing to Prince Hamlet that there was a ghost. And now, when till where we have read, Prince Hamlet decides to see the ghost and to meet him and ask him that what is the reason for his appearance, okay? Why is he not in heaven or hell, wherever he needs to be, and why is he roaming around on earth? So what is the reason? Okay, so students, any questions so far you have, let me know. Otherwise, thank you very much for today's class, and take care of yourself. Make sure you are following all the SOPs. Take it, stay home, stay safe, take care of yourself, everybody. Allah Hafiz.